Can't say that I did. Well, you know the whole 4B. Hey, have you seen Bumble's new Billboard? Can't say that I did. Well, you know the whole 4B movement, right? Where women have taken a vow of celibacy until men start seeing them as actual people and not just holes. Oh yeah, the one where women are like, we would rather go fuck ourselves for the rest of our lives than deal with this shit? Yes, that's the one. So anyway, back to Bumble. They got a new CEO. Okay. And they put up these billboards that... They put up these billboards that said, "C is not the answer." That's a bold move, Cotton. Right? Yeah, that'd be like dudes saying, we're tired of our worth being tied to a number in our bank account. Exactly. Even if men just said, hey ladies, we would like a safe space to process our emotions and not be judged as a weaker man for it. Right, and in response to that, what if Tinder put up a whole billboard saying, hey men, quit whining and open your wallet? Oh my god, what fucking douchebags. Fucking idiots.
Hello, everyone. K Podcast. This is your host, Karen Truth. And as usual, we're going to speak on this particular topic with the Billboard and, Bumble and all the other dating apps. Because this is the thing. I've started noticing many of these companies are making money off of women. Are you getting paid for it? No. But hey, Bumble just said the, silent part out loud by making those billboard like, hey, you are the goose that we are selling. You are the product. And you know what? If you're not out there, it's almost like saying if you're not out there making us money, these men are not gonna be happy. It's giving pimp vibes. I did a video, I think last year or earlier this year, about Tinder when they actually did increase their prices of subscription to 500 a month. But this is the thing. Tinder is also an app where, as a woman, let me tell you something. If a man is talking all kind of, crap and asking you for something they shouldn't be asking you for on a first date, or asking you, oh, how about we go on a date? I'm actually looking for a sexual, partner. They don't block those men. They don't block them. Instead, but you as a woman, God forbid, you decide and say, okay, you know what? If this is what you're looking for, um, can you give me the money for it then? Because it seems like you're allowed to ask me for all of this stuff, but I'm not allowed to ask you for, can you pay for what you are asking for? You will get blocked immediately in Tinder. You will get blocked because I've seen a lot of women talk about this. They're like, oh, it's a dating app for women as well. I'm like, no, it's a pimping app. And the only person that is getting paid here is the app. You as the woman, no. You are the product, but you're not supposed to ask. Because at this point, I might as well just say, if you're gonna use women as your product, then pay them. Then pay them. But no, you're not paying them. You're asking them, mostly to come on your app to look for men that are not serious. Especially, we all know that Tinder is a hookup site. Everybody knows it at this point. Everybody knows that Tinder, for example, is mainly used for hookups, and nobody's really going in there for a real relationship. But the men will pay subscription many of the time. Most of the men in there, they would rather pay, for premium VIP and all of that. Why are they paying for that? Just so that they can meet women. And what is the main reason for meeting those women? Most of the times is for a hookup. It's for hookups. So I'm like, okay, this is why I don't hate OnlyFans creators. I'm like, at least you being sincere and you getting your money over there. You getting paid. At this point, women might as well just open an OnlyFans page and be like, if you want to talk to me, you gotta pay $5. Or if you want to talk to me and have and get my attention, you got to pay a fee for it. And then what? Because it's like the normal, night walkers business. A lot of men do not want to go out there and pick up a woman from the streets that is, doing that job. They want a woman that they can freeload off, because it is what it is. They want to freeload of those women and have nothing to do, and then be like, oh, I don't like paying women for this, but you're willing to pay an app $500 for a subscription for being a VIP and being able to bother women. And those apps are benefiting from it. And they want women to constantly be in those apps so that they can satisfy the men. So I'm just going to bring up a video over here. Let me see. Of this particular topic, because it is not a mistake. A lot of people say, oh, maybe it's not a mistake that Bumble did this, because they're rebranding. That is what they say. Okay, they're just opening up, be like, we need men to pay for it. We need customers, and you are our product.
Okay, Bumble put out like celibacy and like, oh, it's time to give that up. That weird Bumble ad wasn't an accident, okay? For the people who don't know, Bumble put out a kind of tone-deaf ad where they were talking about like celibacy and like, oh, it's time to give that up. Get back on Bumble. Hook up. Hookup culture needs you, right? And a lot of people were looking at that like, ooh, this is really tone-deaf. Bumble made a mistake, yada, yada, yada. And I don't think it did. I think, like, let's look at the writing on the wall here, right? The way that the industry is set up right now, people need workers. What better way to have workers that need to stay working than to have people have kids, right? Take away their access to contraception and birth control. Then let's really, really push hookup culture, right? Through all these dating apps and whatnot. Now, Bumble is also considering adding a feature where women don't have to make the first move anymore, which completely defeats the entire purpose of the way that the app was supposed to be built in the first place, right? But let's push this hookup culture. Let's really get people hooking up, right? Because at the end of the day, you need people in the workforce, right? And I think when you have more people in the workforce and you have people who don't want to lose their job because they have a Tamagotchi at home that they have to take care of, a living Tamagotchi, right? Then you incentivize people to accept the status quo for what it is, right? Why would I have time to protest? Why would I have time to go out and make my voice heard when I got to make sure that there's food on the table for little Junior at home, right? So when you're looking at the apparatus of society right now, what is the best way to really push that? Dating apps. Why? Because dating apps perpetuate a hookup culture that is not safe, right? Dating apps were not meant for people to get married. If it was, dating apps would be a very quick thing. You find a person, you get married, you end it. But they push this whole narrative at the very beginning of these apps that were saying, hey, like people are making it through. And I know this, right? Because I was in one of those ads. I did a dating app ad during the pandemic, and the whole premise of the ad was, hey guys, even though the world is going crazy right now, you can still find somebody. You can still hook up with somebody. The world can still go on, right? Because they're pushing this narrative of getting out there, but they're not pushing a narrative of the middle ground between not dating anybody at all and marriage. That middle ground is murky. That middle ground is hard. That middle ground is a lot of unsafe dating. And what does unsafe dating lead to? Possibility of kids. If you have a kid and there's no way for you to handle that before it's completely birthed, well, guess what? Now you've got something to take care of. If you have something to take care of, guess what you need? A job. If you need a job, then you'll accept any job, right? Because it's not just that people are not going into the workforce. It's that people, after receiving the money that we got during the pandemic and the time off that we got, realize that, hey, maybe I'm underpaid for what I'm doing. And hey, maybe I'm undervalued at these places for what I'm doing. Right? I can work from home and the company can still run perfectly fine. Why do I need to come into the office? Right? All of these different things happen at once. So a lot of these low-paying jobs became harder and harder to fill because people were like, no, I'm worth more than that. But if you have a kid, if you have something to take care of, and that is the only job available, guess what you're going to take? All right? The ad was tone deaf, but it wasn't a mistake. Bumble knows what it's doing.
And that is the thing, he said it all. He said a lot that I agreed with. But let's not forget, although they are expecting, their goals are wider than that. Because yes, give birth, have more kids so that your children can, take your place someday and continue working for the big corporations and making us rich and making us billionaires and trillionaires. And and at the same time we can benefit from the subscriptions that because let's not forget, a lot of women are not paying subscription for these dating apps. A lot of women are not paying for the subscription. The best customers that they have in there are mostly men. Men are the ones paying for subscription. So I'm just gonna say how I see it. I see it as a digital pimp. I see it as a digital pimp site, because this is the thing. Whatever happened to the women, I mean, if you find somebody that is gonna unalive you, what happened? Like the other girl, what is gonna happen? Is the app gonna take care of you? Even physical pimps do more protection than these digital pimps. All they care about is their pocket, their wallet, making money, because mostly the people that pay for apps subscriptions like this are men, because they are looking for a woman and they're earning money from that. They're using you as as a product to get paid. That's how I see many of these dating apps. They are digital pimps. They're using the vulnerability of women wanting to find a partner as, oh, we can as well make money. But God forbid the woman be like, you know what, since I'm being used in here, can you pay me? You get blocked real fast. Try that if you have that app and find out. Believe me, you can try it. You can try it. And you will see how quick you will get blocked. They don't want to pay. They don't want to pay the women that they are using, because I'm like, can we call this out? At this point, women might as well just go out and make OnlyFans page and be like, if you want to talk to me, I need you to be paid. I need to be paid for my attention. They might as well go out and be like, no, I'm not gonna let these dating apps be making money off of me, because that is what they are doing. They are making money off of women. And the fact that they are talking about celibacy is not the answer. What are you trying to, what kind of message are you trying to send? Oh, you cannot be celibate, you must give it up. It's like trying to put pressure on women and saying you must give it up because this is what the platform absolutely represent at this point. We're selling you out there. We are selling you out there. So I'm going to bring up another video of this woman also having her own comments on this particular topic.
These new billboards. Bumble has all of these new billboards condemning women for taking a break.
Go back and watch her video and you'll see that there are 2 billboards for Bumble's new advertisement. One where there's a racially ambiguous woman and it says, a vow of celibacy is never the answer. And then there's a billboard with an obviously black woman on it and it says, you know full well a vow of celibacy is never the answer. The whole campaign is bullshit, but even in the bullshit campaign, they found a way to make it more bullshit for black women. I think they're preying on what they think is a weakness of like the tropes of single black women or the struggles of single black women, or even statistically, like black women not getting married at as high rates as other races and things like that. And they're trying to prey on what they think are black women's fears. You know full well celibacy is not the answer. I know there was a black person on the marketing team and you should be ashamed.
Yeah, because that was crazy. Because this is the thing. A lot of people complain about the black community and talk about how dysfunctional it is, how, they don't have fathers in the home. And yet you have this whole thing being put in your face like, oh my God, celibacy is not the answer. Then what is the answer? You got an answer for us, Bumble? Because your answer is just, go out there and throw it up in the air. And what is going to happen after that? You're going to have more kids. The dysfunction is going to grow. It's not going to help. It's not going to help. So if women decide they want to go into celibacy, the 4B movement that have been rising the last months, women waking up and being like, I'm not going to put up with this. Instead of many of these things to look into that, they are more interested in, oh my God, you shouldn't be celebrating this day and age. In this day, nowadays, no, you gotta put it up because we want the male customer to be happy. But your happiness doesn't matter, because that is what it's given. It's given your happiness doesn't matter. You are the product and the men are the consumers. They're the ones that are mostly paying subscription for all of this. So I'm gonna bring up a video that I made on Tinder, I think earlier this year or last year, when they increased that price for, Tinder subscription. Let me see. Hold on. Pretty sure it's somewhere here. Or I'm just going to bring up another video and then we're going to talk about this later.
Arc, because this ad is just criminal. Do you know how many people have to look at an ad and approve it at a company before it gets on a huge billboard like this? I mean, either they only have men or they just have people who don't care and just want to get their job done for the day, because this is an atrocity. There was a time where Bumble had a pulse on what women were going through. As they should. There's supposed to be an app directed to women, trying to empower them to make the first move. And this could have been one of the best apps that we'd ever see in the dating world, and they absolutely blew it. Something else about this kind of ad, where it basically says, keep your standards high, don't let anyone bring them down, is really reminding me, or at least brings up conversations that men have had in the past where there's this like full blame on women. Like, if you're having such a bad time in your relationship or this person mistreated you so badly, why are you talking about being so traumatized and upset? You should just do better, choose better. And now that we're finally taking this advice, that we're actually choosing better and raising our standards, not just because we want to raise them, but because we're starting to understand our value and the kinds of experiences that are worthwhile for us to have as women, we get this response like, whoa, 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 just kidding. That's too much. I need you to come back to earth and deal with us as we are because, well, you don't want to be celibate, do you? And they try to convince us as women that this is a problem for us to solve, just like how it was before. Our standards weren't high enough. We were being mistreated. We were being traumatized. We had to do better. And now that we have done better, albeit maybe we are overcorrecting in some instances, we still need to be given that opportunity to figure out what the balance is. Some of us do need to heal. Some of us do need this. This is not a bad thing inherently. And to say that it is our problem to solve, that somehow Bumble is what supposed to be our ambassador, is supposed to be our cheerleader in this space, absolutely not. There is nothing here telling me that Bumble understands what women are going through right now when it comes to dating. And if they want to talk to me, I'm happy to share my insights because as a coach, as someone on this platform that has a million kind of conversations about relationships, how to seek emotional security, how to date, how to find people who are compatible with you, this is not the take.
Now, I'm going to say this in addition to what she said. My own commentary for this is just leave the dating apps. Leave them. If you can delete them. As a woman, I'm not gonna be out here advocating for dating apps and being like, I understand there were a lot of people that use dating apps because they don't want to go outside and meet people, and they want to stay in the comfort of their homes where they can easily talk to someone. But at this point, since they are making money off of you, you might as well just leave it because it's a $1 billion company. These are companies that are making money. They are making money because at the end of the day, if you say celibacy is not, you shouldn't be celibate. Okay, you go out there and then you start messing around. That kid comes, and then you start expecting a kid. Do you think the app is gonna take responsibility for you getting knocked up by a guy that ain't nothing, that don't know how to provide, that has a bad attitude out there? Because they are not really matchmaking. They are not a matchmaking app. This is a hookup app at this point. It's clearly like Tinder. It's just for hookups where men can meet cheaper women where they don't have to pay for anything. And it's like the app is saying if he takes you out for dinner that he paid $40 for, well, you might as well give it up for $40. And the women of the night are not even taking $40. They don't want to spend their time because this is making me have, like I said before, I always like the women of the night. I like them. I know a lot of people want to stereotypically, attach that negative image on them and be like, oh my God, yeah, they're selling their bodies for money, but at least they're selling it. They're getting their money. Instead of just going out there, putting yourself with a random person, you might as well just become a woman of the night. Well, what's wrong with that at this point? Because you're out here giving it up for free anyways, and a company is making money out of that. They are making money. They're making billions out of it. You might be out here be like, oh my God, I'm not putting myself out there, selling myself out there. I'm a modern woman. I'm a woman that have taste and all of that good stuff that women like to tell themselves. And then be like, I am not one of those women of the night, but you are out there doing the same thing the woman of the night is doing. The difference is the woman of the night is getting paid. You are not. And you are putting yourself in danger. Just exactly like the women of the night. What is the difference between you? One is getting paid and the other is not. You are both in the same situation. and you're giving the same services if you like it or not. Because the man you're giving that services to, he is not your husband. You don't have a ring in your finger, and he's expecting that because he took for what? Because he took you out on a date and he paid $60 for the dinner that he probably also ate around. So if you would share that money, you divide it, it would be probably you pay $30 for it, he pays $30. Let me say this: a lot of women can afford nowadays to take themselves out on a date. Women can absolutely afford to take themselves out on a date 3 times a week nowadays. A lot of women are highly educated and they have their degrees. And not only their degrees, although a lot of men are like, oh my God, what is that degree going to do for you? Well, let me tell you what it's going to do for her. It's going to help her earn money. She's going to go a long way in society. Financially, she's not going to be depraved. She's not going to be standing out here and looking for a man, to come and help her and feed her. She can feed herself. She can feed herself. But you need to be, if you want to come, like I said before, if you want to be a man that comes into a woman's life, you better be somebody that's going to add a lot into her life. Meaning you got to provide. And I don't want you looking at that woman to provide in any ways. You're the man, because every time men come out in this app, they're like, oh my God, we're the men. They're not letting us to lead. No, the only part where a lot of these men want to lead is mostly, when it comes to decision making, but not paying the bills. A lot of men are running rampage out here talking about 50-50 relationship. And then talking about, in the same tone, talking about they want the women to pay the bill. And they want to be a man like their fathers. When they talk about, oh, I wish women were like the women back in the days. Let me tell you what women back in the days did. They were doing the house chores. They were having jobs they were going to. And they were coming home exhausted, cooking, cleaning, and taking care of their kids and their husband as kids as well, because those husbands were kids. They came home from work. They were like, I'm so tired from work right now. Put up their leg, expect lunch, dinner, and whatever she's about to cook. And when she finished cooking, she serves them. They eat. They go back to the sofa. They sit down and they turn on TV and continue watching TV. And that is the kind of women they are looking for right now. But you gotta, in addition, you gotta pay 50-50 nowadays. Yeah, you gotta make sure you pay the bills too. So let me just bring this commentary that I made on TikTok. I think, like I said before, about Tinder, because when I heard about the increase of the price, when they talk about, oh, we are putting up a $500 dollars subscription fee, and I'm like, who are you trying to sell this product to? Because first of all, the women in your site, they all know that this is are you gonna give them part of it, or the 500 is just for you? And the 500 is from the men that are paid because they are looking for a hookup, and they don't have to do a lot. At the end of the day, the women in these apps, I think women should wake up at this point, because, hey, you might as well be a night lady. At least you're getting paid. You are in the same position of danger. And the only disadvantage you are having is you going out there expecting something genuine. And those men, many of these men are coming out here looking for a hookup. And you're going to do the same thing that the woman of the night does. But the only difference is you're not getting paid. That's why people be hating on hookers. I don't hate hookers, because I feel like hookers, yeah, leave them be, because they should be the ones that if a man is not interested in any kind of relationship, go pay the hookers. Go and pay the hookers. A month. So, and they call this the VIP. I'm going to say this to the ladies, because this is something that you should understand. Tinder is the pimp.
Tinder is a pimping site where women do not make money, but they make money off of you. Because let me tell you something why I say that. If you look at Tinder, there were a lot of men in there looking for a one night stand, and women that are in there, some of them are very gullible and they're looking for actual relationship. So when they come in, they're like, I'm looking for a relationship. And many of the time, the men in there are not looking for that. Many men use Tinder as a site for looking for a one night stand, a free one night stand. But they would rather pay Tinder a lot of money, subscriptions every time to talk to a girl, but they will not want to pay for you when they go out on a date with you. They would want you, even if they paid a dinner for you, to literally spread the legs open and let them in. Now, this is one thing I've noticed. I'm going to tell you guys this. If you want to try this, just try this and see how fast Tinder blocks you. Now, this is what why I say Tinder is the pimp. If you're a woman and you try to ask a man for money because he asks you for XCX, he asks you for schmecks, Tinder will be like, let that man use the hard words while asking you for that schmecks. He's going to tell you all the things he want to do to you and he will not get blocked. But once you say, you even mention money in any way on Tinder, that especially when that man is asking you for that, let me tell you what Tinder is going to do. They're going to block you immediately because they're going to tell you, hey, this is not a site for schmexing. But hey, excuse me, all the time there are men in there trying to get schmecks from women. All the time there are always men that are paying for these platforms. And I'm going to say this, ladies, it's about time you drop all these dating sites because at this point they're trying to pimp you out. At first they called it a free, dating site. All of a sudden now they're seeing the dollar sign. How does a dating site decide they want to be collecting $500 per month from their users? And let's not forget, they have a lot of subscription, a lot of, tiers. And they have the gold, the black, and whatever they want to call it. And most of the times, it's men that are paying for this. Let's not forget, ladies. So Tinder is collecting money so that all these men can be on their platform and looking for schmecks. Let's not forget, because many of them are not looking for relationship. And that's why a lot of women do not want to be on dating site. And I'm going to say this, ladies, it's about time you get off some of these platforms, because first of all, what these people are doing, they're using you to make money. Now, this is why I say this, because a lot of women have been talking about this. Whenever you talk about money as a woman in Tinder, you get blocked. So one time I was having my, on my own page, just looking through, and then I saw this guy. He was like, hey, you know what? I want to hook up and this and that. And I'm like, what the hell, And then he was like, I'm going to give you this money for this schmecks. My dear, he talk about the money. He talk about all of that. I woke up the next morning and my account was, blocked. Now, make that make sense. This is boy math. You rather the ladies in your page do not get a penny, but you make all the money. It's giving pimp that does not want the women to have anything. It's giving you the product, but you're not supposed to know you're the product, ladies. So I'm going to say this. If you're looking for a serious relationship, Tinder might not be the place. Yes. It's not the place, because literally the men that goes there are paying money, but they would rather not pay for a date when you go out with them, but they will definitely pay for Tinder. And Tinder is using women as the product. Let's stop lying and let's stop playing. But you as a woman, they should just turn it into open fans at this point. But of course, they will not do it because they know the men that are in there do not want to pay women, but they want to have free schmecks, but they want to pay them. At the same time, Tinder makes money, you lose. The man that meets you and have schmecks and hook up, at the end of the day, he wins. But who is the loser at the end? It's the woman. Let's stop playing. Tinder has a boy math. I make money, you don't. This is not a schmecks, platform, but men can definitely come into your, page, into your chat and tell you literally, I want schmecks, I want to hook up, and then they will look other way. They will literally look the other way. And you know what? As long as he's paying subscription, he paying for this 500 that they're probably planning on putting on, because this is the thing, they have so much confidence that men will pay 500 just to get a woman on their platform, and that's why they're doing it. If it was not profitable, they would not be doing it. So they're literally using women as the product and men are the consumers. That is a pimp methodology. And I'm gonna say this, they pimping you, you're getting nothing. And as I said before, ladies, try it. Try to ask a guy that asks you for schmecks, for hookup on Tinder for money, and see how fast they block you. You are the market. You are the product that they are selling, and the men are the consumers. So can we stop? Because Tinder will be playing boy math. This is what boy math look like. As a woman, you cannot ask for money when you're on my platform, but I can ask for money so that somebody can talk to you. And most of the time, they're going to be looking for one night stand and schmecks. Make it make sense. Let me know what you guys think in the commentary section about this particular topic. Have a great day and bye.
So that was a video I made because, as usual, I like to do experiments and to find out all these dating apps. I do experiments to check out what people are talking about. And that was my own experience trying to, navigate all this dating site, because a lot of people are like, oh, if you're looking for a relationship, go in here. And I'm like, is it safe though? Can I experiment and find out if this thing is, But the thing is, 99% of the men that I interact with on this experiment were literally 100% looking for schmecks, sexual counterpart. Yeah, they were just in there telling you how, oh my God, would you like to go on a date with me? But I want to do this. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for a one night stand. I'm not looking for something serious. I'm just looking for fun. And I'm like, well, we might as well call these apps or schmeck sites. Yeah, we might as well call them hookup sites. The great hookup sites where men can get free hookups and women get nothing. I prefer men going outside and picking up those women that are the women of the night. Yeah, go pick those ones up. But this is the thing. They don't want to pay. A lot of these men don't want to pay. They want to take advantage of a lot of women. And I understand there were a lot of women that, women of the night get looked down a lot in society, but they are not stupid. I'm not lying to you. They are not stupid women. They know, hey, if you're going to take advantage of me, if I'm going to be providing the services, then you're going to have to pay for it. But they're looking for the gullible ones that are like, oh my God, yeah, I'm not a woman of the night. Oh God, no, I'm this angel. I'm looking for something real. Girl, but you're still going to do the same thing that a woman of the night does. What's the difference? You are just a cheaper version at this point. There's difference between dating, and there is difference between meeting a guy and having sex at the first night. If you want a real relationship, you will not be, going into that kind of action with a man on the first night. I don't care what kind of restaurant he takes you to. He's supposed to impress you if he's looking for an actual partner. And I do tell women, if he's broke, see, I'm not a person that I tell women, oh, go out there and look for a man that you're going to baby. I normally tell women, do not look for a 50-50 relationship. If he doesn't have enough to take care of you, your kids, no. Because at the end of the day, he's going to want to sit down and put his legs up on the table and literally watch his football. If you're going to have to deal with that, he might as well be rich and be able to afford a nanny and able to afford a cleaner. Because there was something I was talking with a friend last time, and she was like, men of nowadays are talking about they want a traditional wife. And I'm like, you know what a traditional wife does? You are the housemaid, the cleaner, and all of that. And she said, but they want you to also bring money into it. And I'm like, you might as well just stay alone. You might as well just be celibate. At least you're going to have yourself to be happy with. You will not have somebody that you have to take care of while taking care of the kids. Stay alone then. It's not a must. Not everybody get to be married. Not everybody need to be married. If you can't find a provider, a man that can provide 100% for you, then it's not a must to, put your standards low. Now, I'm going to bring up this other video over here of this lady actually giving her own opinion, because a lot of people gave their own opinion in this particular topic over here.
Absolutely the answer. I don't know if y'all have seen Bumble's latest ad campaign, these billboards, but when I saw them, my mouth quite literally fell open. Shaming women for choosing to abstain in 2024 is wild. I recently got back on the dating apps after not being on them for like 5 years. And the only one that I seemed to be able to tolerate was Bumble. But even then, I feel like I just could not get into it. And now I understand why. I know we all like to joke about how the dating pool has piss in it, but let's be real, it is so much more than that. As a woman, anytime that I choose to go out and meet a man, I am quite literally putting my life in danger. In 2024, where women are being assaulted, where women are being unalived, where women are literally being dismembered after meeting up with men off of these platforms and off of these apps, a vow of celibacy absolutely is the answer. In 2024, where life-threatening STDs are running rampant, a vow of celibacy is absolutely the answer. I don't know if they thought they ate with these, but they most certainly did not. My question for Bumble then is this: if a vow of celibacy isn't the answer, then please tell us what is. Because surely it cannot be meeting up with a stranger online, going to their home, or worse, inviting them over to my home, sleeping with them, putting my health at risk, putting my life at risk, and just hoping and praying that they end up being the love of my life. Dating in 2024 as a woman has become such a chore and honestly a little bit of a joke. Like, putting aside the podcast bros, the passport bros, the 50-50 warriors, we literally are endangering our lives every time we choose to go out with men. Women are starting to realize that at the end of the day, the juice may not be worth the squeeze. More and more women in their 30s and 40s are choosing celibacy or choosing to just remove themselves from the dating market entirely because it's just not worth it. And I think Bumble and a lot of these other apps realize that, which is why they're continuously introducing these new features, ramping up their algorithms, and introducing more and more paywalls to try and entice us back into a system that really doesn't serve us at the end of the day. Like, I have been so disinterested in opening up my phone and giving these apps another chance, but this is the sign that I needed to go ahead and just delete them entirely.
Do not just delete your apps. Delete all of your dating apps and then rate them in the App Store. Tinder and Hinge are owned by Match Group, who has a class action lawsuit against them for predatory business practices. Bumble is owned by BlackRock, and this is predatory, and this is, to be honest, a violent attack against women. They are gaslighting women to dating on their apps. They are not taking no for an answer. Like, who is in charge of the marketing? The alpha dating guy from TikTok? My friend Ashley, who I'm always sending Jeff's photo to, just sent me this billboard that's also part of the ad campaign. She works in marketing, and she's just blown away that this is a real campaign. Because it doesn't seem real, right? I have people in the comments being like, oh, it's AI. No, this isn't AI. This is real. Because it's so unhinged, it seems unreal. It's unreal that after our bodily autonomy has been taken away from us and women can be executed in some states for having an abortion, it is unreal that they are trying to tell us that we can't say no to dating and having sex. This is a war on women.
And like I said before, yep. I mean, the body autonomy of women are being taken away in many of the states in the US. And these ads are just like coming out being tone deaf to women's problem. Even when did we talk about the bear versus man thing? It wasn't long ago when we talk about women, choosing the bear over the man. And a dating site like this is like, yeah, I think you should definitely put yourself out there, even though you know how dangerous it is. At this point, they might as well just be like, women, we're gonna pay you for all the money that we're getting from these apps, so you can go over there and become the woman of the night. They're like, you can, thou shalt not be a non. Let me tell you something. Talking about nuns, those women are getting paid over there. Nuns are getting paid. Women of the nights are getting paid. So everybody getting paid but you. Because you're still gonna go out there. You might genuinely like the guy and he doesn't, all he's looking for is schmecks. And you put yourself in there. They get what they want. The dating app get what they want because they're like, oh my God, okay, that went well for him. You know what? He's probably gonna come back and look for another product, a new one, because you have already, satisfied whatever craving he had with the other one. So he's just gonna go for to the store and shop for another woman. At this point, they are just shopping. These dating apps are shopping sites for men to pick women that they don't have to pay shit for, other than a subscription to the pimping site, and just pick a woman off the shelf and be like, yeah, I like you too. Let me take you out for dinner. And I pay $60 or $30. And after I pay $30, you should genuinely love me for that and let me get some, because if you don't, then you're terrible. Let me tell you something. If all these men that are getting all these women off the shelf from these dating apps don't have women anymore that would go out on a date with them, and a lot of the women would abstain from, any sexual, behavior with them, they would start leaving a lot of these apps. If women would withhold sex from all these men that are on these apps, you would see the men started to drop off. They would be like, I'm not even gonna waste my time over there. The women over there are not, they are not putting up. They would start leaving. They would not want to pay for all the subscriptions anymore. So they need you to literally put yourself in danger so that they can make their cash. They can make their money. At the end of the day, it's money that they're looking for. It's money. So let me see this. Okay, I've done this already. Let me see. Okay. I think we've talked about the this one already. I don't know if I've already played this video.
Arc, because this
Yeah, I've already shown this video because there were not a lot of videos, but this is something that a lot of women should know. I mean, if you're gonna be out here in the app, you might as well just be having an OnlyFans account and just getting your money out of it instead of somebody making money off of you and putting your life in danger, for that matter, because they do not do background checks. This is not a matching find a husband site. This is more of a, hey, whatever goes, as long as the men are happy. As long as the men are happy. So, with that being said, I'm going to say this. Thank you all for being here. Let me know what you think about this whole Bumble thing and the other dating apps, because at this point here, you are the product as a woman. You are the product, and they are making money. And the worst part of it, you ain't even getting paid, but you're being treated exactly like a woman of the night. You're treated exactly the same way. The difference is the woman of the night, they don't have to take her for dinner. They just have to give her money. You, in the other hand, you are the, I'm gonna buy you $30 meal or $5. In fact, if you get $30 meal and they just don't take you to a McDonald's, you you are lucky. There's no difference. The difference is you ain't getting paid. The other person is getting paid. Nuns that they're talking about don't become a nun. Nuns are getting paid and they don't have to put up with anybody. So yeah.
Can't say that I did. Well, the whole 4B movement, right? Where women have taken a vow of celibacy until men start seeing them as actual people and not just holes. Oh yeah, the one where women are like, we would rather go fuck ourselves for the rest of our lives than deal with this shit. Yes, that's the one. So anyway, back to Bumble. They got a new CEO. Okay. And they put up these billboards that They put up these billboards that said celibacy is not the answer. That's a bold move, Cotton, right? Yeah, that'd be like dudes saying, we're tired of our worth being tied to a number in our bank account. Exactly. Even if men just said, hey ladies, we would like a safe space to process our emotions and not be judged as a weaker man for it. Right, and in response to that, what if Tinder put up a whole billboard saying, hey men, quit whining and open your wallet? Oh my god, what fucking douchebags. Fucking idiots.